Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and this is my second video in my series, my journey into competitive Magic. Last I left you, I had just assembled this red deck that you can see here in the background in paper, and I was off to my first tournament, and I was really excited. Now, I will say it was an interesting event for me because one of the most fun aspects for me is the social side of it. I always tell people, go out, talk to people, meet people, play games with them. You're going to hang out with people who like the very same thing that you do. Have a blast. And while I say that and I talk the talk, I usually get to walk the walk, but I'm privileged, and I didn't realize how privileged I was until I went to this event. I'm used to going to these tournaments with a group of friends, with a broader group that I know from other FFG games. I'm usually a content creator, so people are often coming up to me during the day, and any time I play someone, they're like, oh, are you Tiny Grimes? Oh, that's cool. Hey, it's great to meet you. But at this event, I had the very opposite experience, and I tried so hard to live what I say and to go around and talk to people before the event, but I kind of made a mistake in that I went to a super serious, this event that funnels into like this $25,000 prize event, and everyone was 100% dialed in. And it was one of those tournaments where people don't want to talk to you before the event. They want to either sit there with their friends or they're assembling decks. I went like an hour early. I'd never played this deck in paper, and I was like, I want to get a couple games in paper. No one would play me. Not a single person. I was just like, did I make a big mistake? Like, should I have not even come? And probably I should have gone to a lower tier, more casual first tournament, and that's fine. But I was actually texting my friends, and I was like, I am so bored. You're the only human that will talk to me, and it was really weird. But I will say, by the end of the day, you know, as I got to know more people, as I played my events, as I could talk to people later in the day and say, hey, how are you doing? It just felt a lot more fun, and especially later in the event when I was only like 2-2, and the people I was playing were 2-2, and the people at the top all intentionally drew. Like, that last game was meaningless, even though the winner was going to be 3-2. They would still be just outside the cut. And then people were a lot more friendly, and I actually did end up meeting several people that were really nice and interesting and had good conversations. I ended up testing extensively with the person who won the tournament. He was playing a mono blue deck and was like, I can't win game 1. I almost always win games 2 and 3 against mono red, but I don't want a situation where I get unlucky after having lost game 1. So we jammed like 8 games really quick. Where it was really funny. Like, I even took a mulligan once, and he's like, draw to 7. I just want to know if I can beat mono red, and he couldn't. And so it was kind of fun for me, right? I got to be like, yeah, I beat the person who won the tournament like 8 straight times. But, you know, it was him testing in worst case scenario. But overall, it was great. I had a fun time, got to know some people, went 2-3 in my first event. Wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. These were all really good players. I won my first round, so I was immediately into the winners bracket, and I had a fun time overall. But like I said, I wasn't able to really walk the walk as much as I thought I would, and it really gave me a new vantage point for how people have to be at tournaments and how disconcerting it can be. And I've now played in 4 Magic tournaments, and every one has been difficult for me to really meet people and talk to people. I've gotten to meet some people, but I wouldn't say I have like Magic friends yet or anything like that. They're just like people that have seen me before and still aren't super excited to talk to me. So that's been kind of weird. I have been playing Modern, though, mostly. This is the only standard event I played. I played actually 3 Modern tournaments since then. I went 2-1 with an 8-rack deck, or now 10 racks. I think mine has 11 racks, in fact. But it doesn't have Liliana, and that tournament was really fun. I actually got to buy the first round, which was so annoying, right? Like, I had to wait around an hour, and then I play my second round, and the person's like, whoa, 8-rack. Wow, okay. Do you have Liliana in there? And I was like, I don't have Liliana. And he's like, I don't know if I can trust that, right? And so then the rest of the game I was messing with him, right? And so then he's like, I was like, actually, I do have Liliana. And then he goes to look at my deck, and I was like, oh, you're going to see the Lilianas. And he's like, you don't have Liliana. I was like, I'm going to come clean with you. I don't have Liliana. So that was a lot of fun. And then I built a humans deck now. I'm thinking about making a whole new series about that, like building humans and improving with it. Let me know if you want to see that. So I built a humans deck, a terrible humans deck. Like, none of the cards you need to have, no noble hierarchs, none of the expensive lands, just like a budget awful humans deck. And it didn't go well. What did I go, like 1 and 2 in that event, and it wasn't like I did well. I think I snuck out 1 win. And then I played recently on Friday, I think it was. And I actually went 2 and 1 with the humans deck. Improved now. I've gotten some of the cards. I have most of them. Some of them are still on the way in the mail. And I did well. Only lost to a weird Merfolk deck, which I wasn't really sure what to do. It's one of those games where you're new enough to a deck where you don't even know like what beat you. Like, I don't know if I didn't draw the right cards, if I just didn't have the right plan, and that's when you know you probably didn't have the right plan. But it's been fun so far. I've really enjoyed my journey. I'm probably gonna play 2 tournaments this weekend. So it's actually more card game in-person playing than I've been able to do in a long time, and that's been really fun. It's really cool that they have this Planeswalker point system, right? Like, it doesn't actually matter if you're not going to play a lot, but it's like that little thing of like, you got more points. Hey, you showed up and you got a point or 2, and then you won a bunch. And so, like, for instance, I played at a place on Friday, and the tournament wasn't big enough to actually get Planeswalker points other than the 1 for showing up, and I went 2 and 1, and I was really disappointed. I was like, well, I guess I won't be playing there, which it's kind of weird. It's like, do they even matter? I don't know, but that's how I am, right? If there's like points on the line, then I'm more interested. I think it's like one of those little things that company like FFG can do to get people out, like give them points for showing up to league night and stuff. All right, so that's the second leg of my journey into Magic. I'd say I'm focused a bit more on Modern right now, mainly because I have a top tier Modern deck that I know isn't going to rotate and go anywhere, whereas my mono red deck has already become obsolete. The meta has completely adapted. I have an Izzet Phoenix deck that is not at the top of the meta game, and I'm just kind of like, maybe they'll get there. Like, it would seem like it was for a day or two, and then it was swiftly gone. So Standard is interesting with that, and then if nothing else, it's going to rotate out. The reason I grabbed Phoenix is since it's good in Modern, I figured I can sort of slowly build up a second good Modern deck that I can, go between while still having a, I don't know, maybe tier 1.5 Standard deck. So that's it for this time. Follow if you want to see what my journey is looking like, and I'll see you next time on Tiny Grimes Games.